Hey everybody, it's Professor Parish, and this is the Week 1 lecture video for English 109. So if you haven't watched the introduction video, it's on our course homepage, and I'll reference it here in a moment. Please make sure that you've watched it first because it goes over where everything is located in the class, but this video is just going to go over the syllabus and then review what we're doing for Week 1 in the course. So I'm going to switch it over here to show you all kind of what the screen looks like in our class, and it's going to switch over here in now. So you should be able to see our course homepage here. Like I said, the lecture introduction video is right here. I'm going to be posting this video in our resources as well as our announcements page. So for this week, what you want to do is go to our assignments page. I'm going to go ahead and download our syllabus though. So we've got a copy of it. Before we check our assignments though, I do want to go ahead and show you all the syllabus for the class. So when you open up the syllabus, this is what it looks like. My contact information is right here. The best way to get a hold of me with any questions is through email, or you can call between 8 and 4:30 Monday through Friday. This class is online, so most of each week I'm going to have a lecture video, and then we're also going to have assignments and discussion forum as a means to communicate with each other. So what we do in this class is this is all a prep for English 121 and other college writing. So we're going to be doing kind of similar styles of writing that you'll experience in English 121. So we're going to look at narration, compare and contrast, cause and effect, and argumentation. So those are kind of the highlighted types of writing that's in our textbook and what we're going to do in this course. And I'm not going to read all of the objectives, but you can scroll through your syllabus and see how we're going to be utilizing the techniques from our textbook and our discussion in class to kind of improve our writing, whether it's researching, constructing paragraphs, making outlines, different things like that to get a better developed sense as a writer. So, as far as the types of papers we're going to do, we are going to do a cause and effect, and then a compare and contrast, a narration, and we're going to round out with argumentation in this course. Our textbooks, I mentioned this in the introduction video, make sure you have the 10th edition of the English Skills textbook. It should look like this. It's in our bookstore, and you can also see it on SIC's bookstore at sicbookstore.com. You will need this to do the assignments, so make sure you have this textbook and that you get it as soon as possible. Anything else that's supplemental, I'm going to hand out. As you can see here on the determining the course page, I am a fan of balance. I am not one of those instructors that's like, okay, we're going to have 2 tests and that's going to determine your course grade. I was not a test taker in college or in high school, so tests are not my forte. This class is out of 1,100 points, which is a lot, and it's spread out throughout the semester. So it's very important to be diligent the entire semester. Don't just be like, oh, I can slack off the first 9 weeks and then make it all up. Or, oh, I'm doing great the first 9 weeks, I'm going to just slack off. It's all very much spread out. Our discussion forums, we'll have 15 of them over the semester. We're going to have 4 reading responses, 10 grammar reviews, and 5 textbook activities, which are just going to be grammar and structure and mechanics. Writing preps are going to be creating outlines for your papers and your thesis statements. The actual writing assignments are going to be worth 50 points each. We are going to have a midterm, a final reflection, and a final exam. So it's pretty spread out throughout the semester, and you can kind of see the grading scale here as well. As far as attendance goes, the best way to get an A in this class is just do all of the work. I tell students every semester, I'm like, usually students make one of 3 grades in this class. They either make an A, they make a B, or they fail. And I don't want you all to fail, but usually the students that fail are just ones that don't do the assignments. Now for English 109, you must make a C or higher to move on to English 121. So that is my goal, is to get you at a C or higher to move forward. With this being an online class, technology issues can happen, but they are not an excuse for late work. So my biggest piece of advice for any online student is do not wait until the due date to do the assignment. Bad things with technology can happen, and they can happen at any time. So my advice is do your work as early as you can so that if you do have a tech issue, we have time to get it resolved before the deadline. If you email me at 11 o'clock at night on the night an assignment is due, I'm probably not going to be awake, and I'm probably not going to be able to help you at that point because you've waited until the last minute to reach out. So make sure that you're doing your assignments early and that you're making sure that you're getting them done correctly and submitted on time. Now, obviously, those due dates are there for a reason. Sometimes you can't get to it early, and that's fine, but just be aware that that does have consequences if you choose to turn things in at the last minute. Now, obviously, if there is a medical emergency or a family crisis or something that is out of your control, you and I can work with that on an individual basis. But if you're just like, oh, I forgot to turn that in and now it's 11:55 and it's too late, I can't help you there. That's kind of part of college. I know a lot of students have I know some high schools are like, oh, just turn it in whenever. I'm very much a believer in that we do stuff every week and that I don't want it to snowball and that you get lost. So if you don't get something turned in on time the first week, just move on. You've got plenty of other weeks to make up for it. As long as it doesn't become a habit, you should be fine. But that's kind of my policy there. If you have any ADA accommodations, you can contact this number to be accommodated for those. We do utilize Starfish, and that's kind of our retention plan. If you don't submit assignments or if you're doing poorly in the class, I will use Starfish to reach out to you. And then this next part is our weekly outline. So this outlines everything that we're doing in the course. So you can kind of go ahead and see what readings you should be doing for each week, what videos you're going to watch, and then what assignments you're going to complete. So this reading techniques video, you may not see it in the resources. I may have changed it to an article just in case if you're curious, but everything else should all be up to date. And it's all listed there from now until December what we're doing. This last part, this is all on my end. You don't have to pay attention to it. And then the supplemental page just has information about our standard code of conduct. But that's our syllabus, so you can definitely check that out, especially if you're curious about assignments and the grading scale. As for what we're doing this week, if you go to assignments, there are 2 assignments due this week. The first one is the discussion forum, which I'll show you all in a moment, and then the other one is the first textbook activity. So if I click on the textbook activity, I'm going to edit the assignment and see it. There is a file down here that will open up that you can look at. And so the textbook activity, I went ahead and just wrote it all out here. So if you don't have your textbook yet, you can still do this activity. So if you're like, I've ordered my textbook, it's not come in, what do I do? This is taken straight from the book. So for this first week, you're gonna get a pass and I already have it wrote out for you, so you don't have to worry about that. You can do this assignment without your textbook for this first week if you've ordered it and you're waiting on it. How you upload assignments to your textbook to the site is there will be an upload button. You can click on it and it will allow you to upload from your computer. Please make sure that your files are either Word documents or RTX, rich text format files. I don't have a MacBook, so Pages won't open. If you use Google Docs, you'll have to download from your Google Docs onto your computer or your device and then upload from there. If you have any questions about this, please let me know. You can email me and I can help walk you through it. So the other assignment is your discussion forum, and I'll go to week 1 and show you it. For week 1, I put down kind of how the discussion forum works. Your discussion forum is worth 20 points. So each post that you create every week is due by Friday, and that's worth 10 points. If you don't submit a post by Friday, I will still accept it Saturday or Sunday, but I'm going to dock 5 points. So you'll only get a max of 5 points if you submit it late. The other 10 points of the assignment come from your peer responses. So you have to do at least 2 of those, and each of those peer responses are worth 5 points each. So you basically got a post worth 10 points, a response worth 5 points, and a response worth 5 points, so 20 points total. I do deduct points for grammar errors. If your responses are too brief, if you're just like, I agree, and you don't add anything else to the conversation, or if you submit late. And then anything after Sunday that's posted will not get any points. So you basically have between the time the week starts and Sunday to post in the discussion forum. I would say, though, that for the most part, everybody does pretty well in the discussion forums as long as they do it on time. For this first week, we're just introducing yourself. So explain, why are you attending SIC? What do you believe is your biggest strength as a writer? And yes, you do have a strength as a writer. If you have made it this far into English 109, you have a strength. I promise you. A lot of students are like, I'm not a strong writer. I'm like, you have a strength. Whether or not you're a strong writer isn't the point. It's that you have a strength and value in writing. What do you think that is? Is it brainstorming? Is it creating introduction paragraphs? Is it organizing? Is it being creative? Is it creating a conclusion for your paper? There's something that you are good at in terms of writing. Now, obviously, we all have weaknesses and things that we can build on and strengthen in our own writing, but we also have strengths that we can play on as well. So I want to know what that is. And then finally, I want to know, how do you hope this class will help you to become a better writer specifically? So I always like week one. It's a nice icebreaker. We get to introduce ourselves, explain our majors, our backgrounds, what we're hoping to get out of the class, and it's a nice introduction to all of us as a whole. So those posts are due by Friday. Your responses to your peers are due by Sunday. But you can post ahead anytime that you want, ahead of schedule. So those are the 2 assignments for this week. As far as resources go, this video is going to be posted here under week 1. You have your syllabus here you can download. There's also starting research paper and tips for research. I would go to this tips for research this week and just review it, because that might be something that might be helpful down the road for your first paper. And you can scroll down here to see how to create an outline and other assignments as well. But this first week is just getting started and getting used to the format, getting used to the discussion forum, and getting used to how to submit an assignment. So should be pretty straightforward, but if you have any questions at all, you can always email me and ask. You are reading the first couple of chapters in our book. You'll notice with this textbook that there is text, but there's also a lot of examples, a lot of charts, a lot of pictures. So even though it may seem like there's a lot of pages with these first few chapters, it's really not. It's separated out pretty well. I like this book a lot, and so I'm excited for us to kind of dive into it and utilize it this semester. So that's our week 1 lecture video. I hope you all have a wonderful week. If you have any questions, please let me know. But if not, stay safe, be diligent, and I will talk to you all again very soon for week 2.